Hello, welcome to Blowing Up Blind Spots. My name is Krista Cruddy. I am the founder and business crew chief for Velocity Business Strategists. We are a consulting agency focusing on business operations for clients. A little bit about me before we get into blowing up your blind spots. My background is mechanical engineering, production operations management. I spent over 25 years in manufacturing and engineering and over 30 years in motorsports. I've raced cars for over 30 years, we realized a couple of months ago, and really been involved with all things mechanical since I was a young child. Started one of my earliest projects I remember, my dad brought an old copier home from his business and it didn't work. So he's like, how about it? I started taking it apart, put it back together, it worked. Something had shorted out, wasn't really into the electrical stuff yet. I loved all the drums and the things that moved and all the parts in it that made it work. Learned a lot about copiers, really haven't touched one since, and that's okay. So here's some pictures from my life. I drive a 2011 Mini Cooper GCW, and then the rest are pictures of my family and a mindset that I have had for quite some time since I was in college. You know, I spent my time and money for a long time, and still do, on cars, going to the racetrack, being at the racetrack, being around people that have something that they're truly passionate about. And since then, I've, worked in corporate America, spent some time in sales, and came back to something I was really passionate about in starting Velocity Business Strategists, helping people truly find their passion, helping people focus on what it is that they want, and really blow up those blind spots and make their dreams and that life that they desire a reality. On a side note, my daughter is actually in 3 of these pictures. The picture of me in my race helmet is from 2014. I ran in support of the Montreal Grand Prix for Formula One. And we found out just before the weekend that I was pregnant with her. And I remember the look on my husband's face was like, oh my goodness, what do we do? And I'm like, you keep your mouth shut, because I'm pretty sure the FIA is going to figure out a way to not let me on the track. So we're at dinner after in the evening and tell everybody then about me being pregnant, because everybody's asking, are we going to the race? Are we coming back for something going on up there in September? And we're like, no, we can't. And finally at dinner, we could tell everybody what was actually going on. So I said a long time ago that, had I gotten into drugs and alcohol, it probably would have been cheaper. Anybody who's ever owned a race car or a classic car or into motorsports at all, you can really spend some money on it. So enough about me. Let's get into the meats and potatoes of this, since we only have a short time together today for this segment. I want to start off with a very short story. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable. She didn't know what she was going to do to make it. She was tired of struggling and fighting all of the time. Just as one problem seemed solved, another soon followed. Her father took her into the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on high fire. Once the pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one, eggs in the second, and coffee grounds in the third. The daughter moaned, impatiently waited, wondering, what the heck's he doing now? After about 20 minutes, he turned off the fire, placed the pots on the counter, took the potatoes out, placed them in a bowl, took the eggs out, placed them in a bowl, and then ladled the coffee into a cup. Turning to his daughter, he asked, what do you see? Potatoes, eggs, and coffee, she replied hastily. So let's talk about mindset. This is one of the biggest areas when I work with clients that I find that they get stuck in. This is the biggest blind spot presented and repeatedly presented during sessions. When you look at this picture, what do you see? Do you see, I've got so many questions, where do I start? Anger. Or do you see, I got this, let's crush it, let's make it happen? What do you see? write it down real quick. Hopefully you brought pen and paper with you to this session and you can make some notes because there's going to be some really good nuggets in here. Even if you've seen these pictures before, something's changed in your life since you saw them the first time. And where is that now presenting? What are you seeing now? So when I first saw this picture, I was like, I could never use that. And then I started working on another project and it shifted, right? This is all for me. This picture shows, for me, it shows, let's blow through these blind spots. Let's crush these questions that we have. Let's stop lying to ourselves and make things work. Did you know the number one person we lie to is? The number one person we lie to is ourselves. Henry Ford used to say, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So why would you ever think you can't? It's like the little engine that could. If you think you can, you will. You'll figure out a way and you'll make it happen. In that same context, I love this quote from Brian Tracy. Fear and self-doubt have always been the greatest enemies of human potential. I have worked with clients individually, in groups, that they never believed that it could happen. They were afraid of what could happen. Good or bad sometimes, you know, they were afraid of success. They were fearful of letting someone else down. When I work with a client, I really focus on what's in here. What's in here for them? What are they working on? What are they focused on? What's best for them? Not what's best in the outline that was in whatever coaching program or whatever outline should be followed. No, it's individual, right? Whatever you fear is for you. Whatever I feared and got over to get here is what I feared and got over to get here. Ever have that great idea where you feel like you've got the world in your hands and you can make anything happen? Maybe it's been a while. Maybe it's been a couple hours. Maybe you just had one. How cool is it that you can ignite that fire, make that fire work, and really focus on what it is that you want in your blind spot? Have someone expose it and make it work. I love this picture because it shows the idea process. It shows someone going, ooh, okay, what's just beyond? What is the light not yet shown on? And how cool is it that you can choose what you see? Do you guys remember Blockbuster Video? Remember when Netflix came out and it was a DVD? You got the DVD in the mail and you had to stick it in, and then you had to download it, and then you could watch it. You get DVDs in the mail, you could have like 2 out at a time, right? And over time, Netflix has evolved. Where's Blockbuster Video now? I think there's one left, possibly. I think it's in Bend, Oregon. Not the strongest of the species that survived, nor the most intelligent, the most responsive to change. The pandemic, right? That opened a lot of businesses, closed a lot of businesses, shifted a lot of businesses, shifted a lot of mindsets. And you had the choice on what you focused on. Did you start to respond to the changes that were happening? I know for me personally, I had been working from home, working remote for over 15 years. Started a business in 2005 and really focused on spending as little time in the office and either being at clients or doing stuff back then over the phone. Focusing on phone calls, focusing on emails. So I had already been doing video calls. I'd already been doing online conferencing. So when March of 2020 happened, for me, it was a pretty easy shift. And I got to teach the others on, what to do, how to do. I started to focus on the opportunity. This is my favorite quote from John F. Kennedy. This is actually the Chinese word for crisis. The word in Chinese is made up of two characters. It's made up of danger and it's made up of opportunity. Which do you choose to focus on? Because you can only focus on one. Which are you going to choose to focus on? Do you focus on the dangers and the, oh no, we're out of toilet paper? Or do you focus on the opportunity of, hey, maybe now's a great time to start my business. Maybe now's a great time to shift where I live or move or fill in the blank, whatever it is for you. What's your opportunity? What do you want to focus on? And how are you going to make it happen? I love this picture. This is from a Formula One race years ago. And, you know, it really goes along that, what are you changing? What are you making adjustments to? You know, do a couple of different programs. I have one coming up on May 12th. It's actually an expanded version of this. We're going to touch on mindset here on this section or on this segment of the summit. And then we're going to get into several more details in that. What this is champions make adjustments, never excuses. You ever listened? You might have watched motorsport. The good drivers, the good riders focus on what went right, what worked well. Even if they didn't win, they focus on what went well. They thank their team. They're grateful for what happened. And those that are not quite so successful make excuses. This guy did that. That driver did this. This happened to me. And you never see those people be champions. Make those adjustments, make those tweaks in your life. How do you pivot? How do you shift? What else could you be doing? What else could you change in your life, in your business to help you move forward? I know for me, several things changed recently. I moved, sold and bought cars, sold and bought real estate, changed how I was networking. A lot has shifted for a lot of people over the last 2 years. And how cool is it that the road of personal development, of professional development, it's really a journey. It should never be a destination. It's never a one and done. It's never one class and, oh, I'm better. How often do you update your phone, the software on your phone? How often is the software updated or the operating system updated on your computer? Fairly frequently, right? When was the last time you truly invested time, money, or both in yourself, in fixing what goes on up here, in fixing your operating system, in adjusting your operating system, and up-leveling it to what's happening now? And how do you respond to what's happening around you? This was a big one for me several years ago. Stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. You ever been around somebody and they're like, you're like, hey, how's your day going? Okay. What's going on? Oh, this happened. My dog died. I got a ticket on the way to work. Everything they do is down in the dumps. I lovingly call them the Eeyores of life. Read a book once, I believe it's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways, talks about the Pollyannas. People that are always upbeat, always ready to go, hey, you want to go to a movie? Yeah, let's go see. What do you want to go see? Yet people choose a lot of times to stay with the negative people in their life. They choose to stay where they're stuck because it's familiar, it's comfortable. They enjoy, as much as that sounds odd, they enjoy that comfort level, that familiarity. Yet when you go out and you stretch and you meet new people and you do new things and you find those Pollyannas, you can stick with them, be around those positive people, be around those, hey, what did you do today to move yourself forward? whether it's an accountability group, a group coaching program, your own personal coach, focus on being around those people. Because the 5 people you spend the most time with are going to influence you and impact you the most. Think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. You are wanting to be more abundant, be more prosperous, have more money. Those 5 people you spend the most time with, how are they? Would you want the life that they have? Would you want the paycheck that they have? Because part of that whole idea is your earning potential is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When I was told that, when I first uncovered that and really dug into it and understood it and believed it, I looked around and was like, yeah, okay, minus my daughter who, has an earning potential that's unlimited as far as I'm concerned now. Yeah, there's a few people I definitely want to keep. There's a few people that I was like, they're always talking about how broke they are. They're always talking about this bill came due and that bill came due and blah, 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 blah. And then there's those people that you're around. They're like, nice dress. Like the last time you wore it too. There may be that not so, they don't come across totally negative, yet there's something condescending. There's something that draws the energy down about the way that they take it. For me, that was another one. And this is an item that we'll cover in much more detail in that May 12th event. Where are you in this? Maybe you don't see those negative people. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the fact that you can't see past your blind spot to see where it is that you want to go, to see what the abundance is that is around you, and start to move your life forward. This is another aspect of mindset that many people believe they understand, yet fall short when they're asked about it. What you feed grows and what you starve dies, right? Do you ever think about something on the way to work? Ever be late? Oh, how could this happen again? I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. What happens? You're late. Did an experiment with my daughter when I used to drive her to school. Now she takes the bus because of where I live. And I used to say to her, I'm like, okay, all green lights. We're going to get all green lights on the way to school. She's like, okay, green lights, green lights, green lights. Well, guess what? We would get all green lights on the way to school. Where else can you use that? I'm receiving new clients. I'm receiving new contracts from existing clients. I'm receiving repeat customers. What could be better than that? How cool is that phrase? That was a phrase I was introduced to about 3 years ago. Something happens, you find a dollar bill on the floor. What could be better than that? Just going through my wallet, emptying my wallet out from the week and going through receipts. And I paid cash for a couple of things. And I have a tendency, I want to be mindful of the people behind me in line, and usually take the receipt, fold the change, fold the paper bills up, stuff them back in my wallet. And then I go and, clean my wallet out, pull my receipts out, file them when they need to be filed. I found a 5, a 10, and a 20 wrapped up in receipts. What could be better than that? Right? So when you ask that question, it's bringing that abundance into you. It's telling the universe that, yes, I am ready for more. What you feed grows and what you starve dies. You ever been in a bad mood, get around somebody else who's in a bad mood, and it just drags you down even further? How about the opposite? You ever been in a meh mood? Kind of not maybe not totally youre, and still not that, okay, great, let's get this done, let go get her, right? You're kind of like, just meh, okay, I'm here. And then you have a conversation with a friend that's upbeat, something great happens. Feed on that energy, feed on that ability to bring that positivity, to bring that go-getter, to bring more into your life. and really focus on what goes on up here. And when you're ready to start listening to that mind chatter, to that voice in your head, yeah, that voice that said, I have a voice in my head. We all have one. When do you get to run it like a board meeting rather than it running you and running your life? When you're ready to do that, let's talk. When you're ready to do that, get an accountability partner, get a coach, get a group that you can join. And when you have those your days, they can be there to help lift you up. And when you have those amazing days where everything is going right, maybe you can reach a hand back and pull someone up with you. What you feed grows and what you starve dies. The more you focus on what you want, the more of that you're going to get, positive or negative. If you focus on the good news and focus on the abundance and focus on the prosperity, you're going to get more of that. It's just the way the world works. The law of attraction is spherical, positive and negative. When you get down in the dumps, have a person in your life that you can call and go, you know what? I'm having a crappy day. Can you kick my butt and get me out of it? It works. Because there is one constant in life. Change is inevitable. You have the choice on how you respond to it. If you choose to suffer, that's your choice. If you choose to look at it where, hit another red light again, and then you drive down the road and you see a car accident. Well, maybe that was the universe saying, you know what? I'm going to keep you safe. You're going to get this red light because it's going to slow you down, and you get to look around you and pay a little more attention and be there and be present and focus on what it is that you want. How cool is that? So in wrapping up, it's just about time. To finish first you have to finish. This was one of my favorite t-shirts in the 90s from racing. And start working on things. There's no need for them to be perfect. Do the best you can with the tools you have at this moment. Start. Finish it. And then you can go back and tweak it if you want. This is some of the stuff that I'm working on back here behind me, right? Just start. And if this is your first introduction to personal development, professional development, the woo-woo energy, right? What an amazing place to start. Thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for investing the time in yourself. Take it and let's move forward. Let's work on those next steps. Let's go into mindset more in depth. We'll go into focusing and cash flow and getting customers and sales, because nobody likes to talk about sales. Talk about the prosperity in your business. To start a race, to win a race, you've got to start it and you have to finish it. I actually won a championship by never winning a single race. I just consistently finished in the top 3. And I won the championship. So to finish first you have to finish. To win something, you got to finish. You get to take all of that positiveness, all of that stuff that's going on, and put your best foot forward. Do everything in your life with excellence. Make it happen. The biggest difference between people who are unsuccessful and people who are successful is the people who are successful did the work. They put the time in. They put the energy in. They made it happen. Success doesn't happen sitting on the couch eating bonbons watching TV. Success happens when you put the work in. When you focus on improving yourself, you focus on putting yourself out there, and you put your best foot forward in everything that you do. The way you do the little things is the way you do the big things. The way you talk to one person is how you should talk to everyone. To finish, you got to start. To win, you have to start and finish. one of the coolest things about motorsports is I get to hide behind my helmet. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, super emotional, good or bad, I get to hide behind the helmet. If you've ever watched Helio Castroneves win a race, particularly the 500, right? You see a level of emotion with his helmet on that's amazing. And when he takes it off, it just exudes accomplishment. It exudes excellence. Everything that he has done came to that point. He is so present in his world. And at that moment, it's amazing. Ayrton Senna, one of the all-time amazing drivers. You never know how a driver feels when he runs a race. The helmet hides unfathomable emotion. What helmet are you hiding behind? What facade are you hiding behind? I hid behind one for years. And I'm really grateful that I can take that helmet off. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You can tell when I'm having a good day. You can tell when I'm having a bad day. You can tell when I don't really want to do something. My husband's like, really? Again? But yes, there are days where even the best of us don't want to do something. And we get to choose to react and respond differently. I invite you to get out of your comfort zone. I invite you to get out of the fear zone. What do you fear the most? Maybe what you fear just needs a different definition. How do things change? How are things going to change if you stay in your comfort zone? A seed never grows if it stays in its comfort zone. It fights the environment, it struggles, it looks for what it needs, and then it makes it happen. Get into your learning zone and your comfort zone. Get into those zones. Keep going to summits like this. Invest in yourself. Join a group. Come to the boot camp. Do something for you that's going to help move your life forward, your business forward, and change that mindset. Live your dream. Challenge the challenges. Acquire those new skills. Get out of your comfort zone. For me, I can tell you one of the things that I would have never thought I would ever do is something like this. Had you told me when I was in high school that I would be a professional speaker, that I would be standing in front of audiences, up on stages, heck, even in front of my class, I would have told you you're crazy. And now I love it. It's absolutely, I love connecting with the audience. I love connecting with you. I really, truly enjoy talking with people about what's going on. Attitude is everything. Your mindset is everything. Look closer, he said, and touched the potatoes. She did, and noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed it was hard-boiled. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. What does this mean? She asked. He explained that the potatoes, eggs, and coffee had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard, and unrelenting, and came out soft. The egg went in weak, fragile, and liquid, and came out hard with its thin outer shell protecting the liquid interior. And the coffee grounds were unique. They went in, exposed to the boiling water, they changed into something different. Which one are you? He asked his daughter. When adversity knocks on the door, how will you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or coffee? I enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you very much for investing in you. I would like to make you an offer. I would love you to join me for my Business Ops Bootcamp on May 12th. It's a Thursday. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's a live 90-minute session where we take this and we blow it up even more. We go into more detail. We go into more aspects of blind spot. And when you sign up, you also get a 25-minute personalized session with me from this after this event once you've blown up your blind spot. So I would love to chat with you. I would love to have you attend the boot camp, come network, come join me, learn some more, invest in yourself. And if you still have questions, connect with me. Grab me on LinkedIn, grab me, follow me on YouTube as well as Facebook. I have a business Facebook page, and I look forward to connecting with you. I hope you all had an amazing time, and grab that a business abundant biz ops special offer. It is valid until the end of the month. So I look forward to seeing you again at Business Ops Boot Camp. I wish you guys all the best. Take care.